Welcome to The Explainer. I'm really glad you're tuning in today because we've got an absolute heavyweight clash to break down. We're looking at the 2026 AI landscape, and honestly, it's evolved into this fascinating high-stakes battle between raw, unadulterated AI power on one side and aggressive, hyper-efficient cost disruption on the other. Today, we are digging deep into the data, the benchmarks, and most importantly, the real-world economics of the top models dominating the market right now.
So think about this for a second. If an open-source model costs 90% less to run, but performs 95% as well as the top-tier proprietary stuff, which one is actually the best? We spend so much time obsessing over technical benchmark scores, constantly chasing that extra 1 or 2% in coding accuracy or logic. But today, we're pivoting. We're focusing on real-world business economics. Because let's face it, the best model in an AI lab is very rarely the best model for your company's actual profit margins.
Okay, let's kick things off with part 1. The 2026 AI landscape.
To really grasp where we are right now, you've got to understand the new baseline for 2026, and that is the 1 million token context window. This isn't just some technical novelty anymore, it's the industry standard. Practically speaking, this means you can drop roughly 750,000 words. We're talking entire massive code bases, huge legal libraries, or even hours of video transcripts directly into a single prompt. And why does that matter to you? Because it drastically lowers the total cost of ownership. It basically eliminates the need to build and maintain those complex, highly error-prone RAG pipelines. You literally just hand the model the whole shebang at once.
Now, if we look at Google's naming system, it actually clears up a ton of the confusion around the massive Gemini 3 family. Pro is your absolute heavy lifter, built for maximum reasoning and complex analysis. Flash is that balanced middle ground, which is perfect for high-volume production and APIs. And then Flash Lite is all about pure speed and throughput, mostly for real-time classification. Keeping this basic framework in your head makes navigating today's ecosystem so much easier. Moving right along to Section 2. Gemini 3.1 Pro's dominance.
Guys, the sheer scale of the leap between generations here is just staggering. Take a look at these ARC AGI2 benchmark scores. This tests novel, abstract logic, what we often call deliberative System 2 thinking. Gemini 3 Pro scored 31.1%, but Gemini 3.1 Pro, it skyrocketed to 77.1%. That's right, it more than doubled its predecessor's score. This isn't a small tweak. It shows a massive, fundamental architectural leap in how the model actually reasons through complex problems.
But here's the absolute kicker. Even with that insane jump in performance, including hitting a massive 94.3% score on the graduate-level GPQA Diamond benchmark, Google did something we rarely see. They kept the pricing exactly the same. $2 per million input tokens. They basically handed the market this massive generational upgrade without raising the toll at all.
So, the real secret sauce for Gemini 3.1 Pro is its native multimodality. See, they didn't just take a text model and bolt on vision or audio encoders as an afterthought. It was trained from the ground up on interleaved text, images, audio, video, and code. Because of that, it natively understands and connects the dots across formats. It can literally hear a specific mechanical click in a 45-minute video and instantly cross-reference it with a schematic in a text-based technical manual. That is a total game changer for complex, real-world workflows.
Which brings us to Section 3, the Qwen cost disruption. Now, this is where Qwen completely flips the script. While Gemini is locked into that closed ecosystem, down to Google Cloud with proprietary weights and strict data routing, Qwen offers open weight models under an Apache 2.0 license, meaning it is completely self-hostable. For enterprise teams, this is huge. It offers immense deployment flexibility, absolute data privacy, and the power to control your own latency, completely free from the lock-in of a Western cloud provider's API. And Alibaba didn't just compete on price. They brought some genuinely fascinating engineering to the table with what they call a thinker-talker architecture. It's an omnimodal design that essentially splits the reasoning engine away from the speech synthesis, so Qwen can actually stream real-time speech output before the underlying text response is even finished generating. If you're building mobile-first, voice-native, agentic apps, where even a tiny bit of latency totally kills the user experience, this specific architecture is absolutely vital. It's really no wonder developers are flocking to Qwen 3.6 Plus for complex stuff. I mean, it's hitting 78.8% on SWE bench verified coding tests, and it completely excels at vibe coding, which is that rapid generation of UIs where it just naturally understands visual hierarchy out of the box. Plus, it sports a 262K native context window that seamlessly expands to 1 million alongside a built-in thinking mode. It can write, test, and revise code iteratively, and it never loses the plot.
All right, let's get into the dollars and cents. Section 4, performance versus real costs.
40 cents. Let that sink in. 40 cents is the input cost per million tokens for Qwen 3.5. We are talking about a tiny fraction of what the Western frontier models charge for comparable or near comparable output.
To put that in perspective, check out this contrast. If you're running an agency or an automation pipeline processing, say, 25 million tokens a month, your API bill for Claude 4.6 would run you about $275. For Gemini 3.1 Pro, it's $125. But for Qwen 3.5, $16. Literally $16. Qwen is practically a rounding error on the balance sheet compared to the proprietary models.
And if you decide to bring it in-house and self-host, the numbers get even crazier. For heavy enterprise-level usage, making the switch to a self-hosted Qwen model represents an annual savings of 15,000 to 60,000 euros, depending on what API you're replacing. This highlights exactly why this stuff matters to your bottom line. Look, benchmarks are fantastic for tech press releases, for sure, but true ROI? That's what actually keeps an agency in business and funds your next big project.
So let's wrap this all up. Section 5, the final verdict. Here are your bottom line CTO-level takeaways from today's explainer. You should absolutely deploy Gemini 3.1 Pro if your use case demands the absolute maximum in abstract reasoning, if you need that flawless native multimodality to link video with text, or if your enterprise is already deeply embedded in the Google Cloud and Vertex AI ecosystem. On the flip side, you should be looking at Qwen 3.6 if you are building high-volume repetitive coding agents, if your clients demand the kind of absolute data privacy that only self-hosting provides, or if your business model just demands maximum cost efficiency to scale.
I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. In a world where frontier-level reasoning is becoming totally commoditized, where open-weight models are casually matching proprietary giants on complex coding benchmarks, is the ultimate business moat actually your architecture's financial efficiency? It's definitely something that should make every developer and executive rethink their current AI integration strategy. Thank you so much for hanging out and exploring the source material with me today. I really hope this helps you build smarter and faster in 2026. Keep learning, and I will catch you in the next explainer.